Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is video number 2. As you can tell, I am bewildered. Why? Have you just seen what's happened? The hosts have been knocked out by Spain. Spain 2, Germany 1. Unreal. And Anthony Taylor has to do Anthony Taylor things, doesn't he? Bloody hell, man. It has to be Anthony Taylor to go, oh no, you know what? I mean, there was the whole penalty saga. And then, oh, hang on, 3-minute stoppage time, nice, fine. We'll play until 6. And just after the 5th minute, yeah, Carvajal gets a second yellow. You're off, mate. I mean, just carnage. Our refs bring carnage. That's what they do. But Germany have been knocked out, and unbelievable. Spain will be playing either Portugal or France. That's the second game tonight, so we got a cracker on tonight. If that was one hell of a game, I can't wait for the next one. Bring it on. That's going to be kicking off at the time that this is uploaded. So we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, England tomorrow against Switzerland on the other side of the draw. Life's great, you know. We'll talk about England at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Make sure to catch my review for that game tomorrow, whether we win or we lose and we cry. Don't worry, I'll be here to give you guys a video. You'll be getting 2 videos tomorrow. I think if there's going to be news, I will drop a news video. If not, just the match review. Let's get cracking. What's happened in the club football world today? Let's start off in Italy, shall we? Mr. Fabrizio, hit us away. Juventus consider price tag around 25 million euros with add-ons included for Federico Chiesa as current deal expires in June 2025, not being extended. Juventus are prepared to sell Chiesa, who's currently not part of Thiago Motta's plans, as confirmed yesterday. Listen, Chiesa, if this was 4 years ago, oh my God, he'd be going for 90 million. He just would. Now, after, he had quite an injury. I think he had a cruciate ligament injury, didn't he? I think he had like a cruciate ligament reconstruction surgery or something like, well, he had something bad. And then after that, just constant little problems here and there. That's what happens. To some footballers, that's what happens. And unfortunately, he is one of them. He is a player full of talent. Chiesa in his prime, at his peak, dangerous footballer. Dangerous. I would have him immediately. But right now, with the problems he's had, I can see why they're only asking for 25. And that's in euros, by the way. That's 20 million quid. Some people would say, you know what, let's just take the punt. It's only 20 million. We might as well bring him in. And I can understand that, but I think the chances of him remaining fit are very low. So I just wouldn't. There's injuries and there's injuries. When an injury that shouldn't really cause too much issue, you know, as happened, well, it's not the end of the world, you know, but when there's an injury that you look at and go, you're probably not the same player, then I just wouldn't. This is why yesterday about Mitoma, I told you guys I'd love Mitoma, no problem. Yeah, but he's come back from a back injury. I can't take that risk, my friend. Ligaments, back, or the knee, something to do with the knee, right? Whether it's the knee and its joint, or whether it's the ligament, or whatever. Any one of those, you can maybe throw an Achilles in there, but Achilles nowadays you can recover from pretty well. But any one of those, chances are you're not going to be the 100% footballer you once were. So that's the problem, and that's why Chiesa, I would love to, but computer says no. If you understand where that reference comes from, you're an OG, and you understand real humour. Let me know in the comments if you know where that came from. I know many of you that are based in the UK you definitely know where that comes from. So anyway, let's move. Chelsea have made a signing. Is he over the age of 6? Yes. Is he over the age of 30? No. Is he over the age of 25? No, of course not. Let's get into it. Here's the latest. I'm going to show you the first one, exclusive. Chelsea agree deal to sign Portuguese talent Renato Veiga from FC Basel. 2003 born left-footed versatile defender midfielder set to leave Basel training camp to join Chelsea. Package will be worth 14 to 15 million euros. Personal terms agreed. Here we go. Now, he honestly looks like... He looks like someone out of the world's most dangerous drug cartel. I mean, just... He looks like someone I would not want to mess with. The fact he's only 20, he does not look 20. It's the picture, isn't it? The picture doesn't do him justice. Let's read more. More details on exclusive Renato Veiga story. Chelsea signed 2003 talent for 14 million euros. There will be no sell-on clause or add-ons. Veiga will undergo medical and sign in the next hours. Deal done. Key detail, Chelsea see him playing as left-back, centre-back and midfielder. See, that picture does him more justice. He doesn't look so dangerous here. He actually looks young here. But big up. And you know what? Calafiori looking like he's going to Arsenal. So we've needed... a left-sided defender, and we've ended up with someone who apparently is quite versatile. Now, when I've actually tried to go and do a bit of digging, he's rated highly at FC Basel. They like him. On top of that, he is a Portuguese under-21 international, if I'm not mistaken, and is rated highly in Portugal too, as someone that will break into the Portugal national team and will do well. The key here, though, is his versatility. Listen, yesterday we were talking about Chelsea, was it yesterday or the day before? Talking about Chelsea wanting Swiss Army knives. What does that mean? Swiss Army knife players means that players that are versatile, that can play many positions and, don't struggle. I didn't expect us to actually go to Switzerland to find a Swiss Army knife. Logic should logic there, and Switzerland is probably the first place you should look if you're looking for a Swiss Army knife. But we've only gone and got ourselves one. The Swiss Army knife has only just been manufactured. Basically, he's 20. He's a young kid. So listen, this, according to The Athletic, is why we went and got him. Enzo Maresca was looking for a profile, a left-sided defender who could invert into defensive midfield when Chelsea are on the ball. Veiga does that, and Cucurella is viewed as also capable. We can agree on that, right? We can definitely agree on that. Yes, Cucurella is capable of that. He done it under Poch. That should tell you. If Poch has got him playing in that role, then I would expect Enzo Maresca to be able to do that too. Now, Enzo Maresca apparently is looking for this profile. I have to say, for a player who's that young, of that profile, that club, right, FC Basel, that level, looking to be a Portuguese international pretty soon, I'm actually fairly optimistic on this one, which might be a shock to you guys. But whether you like it or not, or you don't understand it or not, I actually am trying to be as balanced as possible. I just tell you what I feel and how I see it, basically. I don't lie. So Enzo Maresca wants it like this, and you know what? I think it's a smart move. I think you're looking for versatility. That should be one of the conditions. Absolutely, that helps us a lot, and that will cover in case injuries do come back and we figure out Pochettino wasn't the problem and it was the medical staff. So that's another point. But I'm actually in favour of this. It's a low fee. We haven't spent astronomical amounts, and it might be a player that sorts this problem out. So, you know what? I'm actually optimistic about this one. So, fair play. You know what? It's actually crazy. Today, I've actually got good things to say about the club. I actually do. Let's get into why. Exclusive from David Ornstein. Chelsea to appoint Man City head of coaching Glenn van der Kraan as key figure in revamped academy setup. Dutchman informed Manchester City yesterday. Plus will take significant position in new look Chelsea system after Neil Bath and Jim Fraser exits. That's from The Athletic. Now, this also says, the Secret Scout, understand Man City's head of coaching, under 9s to under 14s, Glenn van der Kraan will join Chelsea as a senior academy coach immediately. He will leave City and help academy rebuild after Jim Fraser and Neil Bath departed. Chelsea set to appoint overall head of academy who will oversee talent ID and philosophy. So, look, if there's one thing, right, that I won't bat away, instead of trying to copy Brighton, I would rather copy Man City. Yeah, I just would. I think that's just logical, if we're actually trying to aspire to be someone right now, it should be Man City. So I'm not gonna, say that this is bad. If we're plucking out people from City, fair enough. I'm all for it. Because right now it's the best club in the country and one of the best clubs in the world. So why not? Now, this shouldn't really be deemed as too significant because this guy was head of coaching for under 9s to under 14s. That is a key age for players as to whether you're really going to look at someone and go, yeah, he's going to make it. That is a key age. You find out whether those players make it or don't make it within that age gap. Up until 14, you should know if that player is going to make it or not. As in, make it into the academy setup properly. I mean, the development team, under 18s, the reserves, like the academy team. You should know by 14. You should. If the player's not got it, then by 14 you should know. Because from 14 onwards, that's where you really get the player to make serious strides in starting to play as a professional and get himself to that level. So bring in someone that's been dealing with that, fair enough. But we still do need to hire someone that's going to replace Neil Bath and someone that's going to replace Jim Fraser. Now, unless if we're going to change the setup, then, that's another story for a different day. Whether we're completely restructuring or we're going to keep the same roles. Now, Secret Scout came out with this, and this I found interesting. Few have mentioned the possibility of Man City's head of academy recruitment, Sam Fagbemi, following Glenn to Chelsea. However, we understand that he is happy with his role and project at City. Notable signings to City include Romeo Lavia, Jamie Bino Gittins, and more recently, Divine Mukasa. So, there he is. And again, I have no problem looking at Man City personnel. I don't. Because they're the best. And they are personnel in a club following a model that I would rather much aspire to look like instead of looking at someone like Brighton or any one of them. So listen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it when it comes to this. We'll see what happens. But just like I clarified yesterday, people thinking Joe Shields has taken charge. He hasn't. Right? Neither has Sam Jewell. They are going to be the ones tasked with finding Neil Bath and Jim Fraser's replacements. And it's no surprise that because they are, especially Joe Shields, that the very next day we're getting linked with Man City personnel. I'm not surprised, right? And that's probably the good thing that Joe Shields brings here. So we'll see what happens. Now, another good thing. I mentioned this, if you were here, was it about 2-3 weeks ago? Let's have a look. This is why. Chelsea have appointed Seyi Olofinjana into a talent management role covering Africa. The remit of the new role at Chelsea will cover recruitment recommendations across the region, working in conjunction with a newly appointed scout that will cover Africa. Yes, finally. I've been saying this. Send scouts to Africa. Listen, we were so obsessed with South America that we've absolutely decimated that entire continent of all its youth products that exist that side of the earth, right? Enough. Stop. But what I will say, there are gems and talents on the African continent that we're ignoring here up until now. 2-3 weeks ago, I said we need to look at Africa. If you want to go in for cheap ballers that are actually going to not only be willing to die on the pitch, but you're going to find some crazy talent, Africa is it. That's where it's at, South America is where it's at too, I'm not going to lie. But Africa is just as much. So I'm very glad that Chelsea have taken this into consideration and have assembled a team to start looking in Africa. Beautiful. Brilliant. So, I'm in favour of this. There's more. Due to Seyi Olofinjana's experience and expertise, his role will aim to build on Chelsea's connections in Africa and streamline the pathway for players to the London club and Blue Co's sister operation in Strasbourg, France. Let me tell you, this will go down well at Strasbourg as well. Why? There's a massive African contingency over in France. Huge African population, right? And no doubt you will find supporters of Strasbourg, especially the African ones, getting very hyped up and going crazy when more Africans get signed to Strasbourg to develop and grow and, help them as well. Like I've said, there's a lot of talent on that continent, and I feel like it's only right that you actually look at what's going on over there. So I'm all in favour of this. Now, Seyi Olofinjana is an ex-Nigeria international. So this only helps the cause here, right? He understands the African game. He's been there, he's done it. And he's played at international level too there. He understands. So this is only, I think, a good thing. Overall, I think this is a good thing. So respect and well done to Chelsea for finally giving attention to that side of the world. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Let me know your thoughts down below. To wrap up, more England news. Trippier will start at right wing back over Alexander-Arnold against Switzerland, with Saka starting at left wing back. That has come from Jake Sanders. It's the Sun. But you know what? Funnily enough, when it comes to England, the Sun actually have good scoops. I don't know how they do it. I don't know who they got. That's in the know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually true. And you know what's crazy? It'd be the last thing that I would do if I was Gareth Southgate. I told you earlier on my preview. If you haven't seen the preview, by the way, go and see it. But I told you Gareth Southgate will make a meal out of this. And he'll mess it up. And he's only gone and done it. He's putting Trippier at right wing back instead. I know, instead of having Eze on the pitch. Or, you know what? And I said this. There was a few of you in the comments that said, no, let's play Trent at right wing back and Saka at left wing back. And I did comment and say, no, you know what? That's a good idea. I would be in favour of that. He's only gone and put Kieran Trippier there instead. So instead of Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker playing on opposite flanks, now they're going to be playing right next to each other. Trippier's had Howler anyway. Just Southgate, man. Southgate. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And I will be dropping that match review once it's all said and done. If I've still got a voice, because I'm heading out to watch the game tomorrow amongst loads and loads of England fans. And I am going to lose it. It's because it's a quarterfinal, and when things get serious, I can get serious too. So if I still have a voice, you'll be getting a review tomorrow. You will anyway, don't worry. So I'll see all of you here tomorrow. If there is any club news before then you'll be here to hear it first. Much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell on. Much appreciated to get notified once I've uploaded. Let me know your comments in the comment section below on everything that I've discussed, and I'll see all of you tomorrow on a brand new one. Have a good one, people. See you lot tomorrow. Take care and peace.